Stop, do not scroll, do not blink, and whatever you do, do not spend these coins. You are watching SF Coins, and today I'm exposing the top 4 most valuable 5-cent Buffalo nickels that look ordinary, boring, and worthless, but are secretly hidden wealth. These are the exact coins people are tossing in a jar, spending at gas stations, and losing every single day without realizing they're holding a silent fortune. Some tiny details make the coins special, and collectors are fighting behind Kohl's doors to get them. Real auction shock. Nobody talks about these. If you have these coins, it means you're holding a fortune. Each coin I'm about to show you gets bigger, rarer, and more dangerous. To ignore these old coins are big treasures, quiet wealth holding in plain sight. Check your pocket now. Do not spend these coins. Stay with me till the end, because the last one changes everything. Coin no. Point 1. The 1927 Div Buffalo nickel is one of those classic American coins that immediately captures attention. Not just because of its bold Western design, but because certain dates and mint marks within the series have become legendary among collectors searching for rare treasures. This coin was struck by the United States Mint during a time when nickels were an essential part of daily commerce, moving constantly through shops, train stations, diners, and general stores across the country. The small D mint mark beneath the denomination tells us this coin was produced in Denver, a facility that often struck lower mintages compared to Philadelphia, making certain Denver issues more desirable today. In 1927, the United States of America was in the heart of the Roaring Twenties, a time of rapid growth, jazz music, industrial expansion, and dramatic cultural change, yet few people paid attention to the coins passing through their hands. The Buffalo nickel design, created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, is considered one of the most artistic and powerful designs ever placed on U.S. circulating coinage. On the obverse appears the profile of a Native American figure, a composite portrait inspired by several real tribal leaders, representing dignity and heritage during a time when such recognition was rare in American art. The reverse features the powerful image of an American bison, often associated with the famous animal Black Diamond, symbolizing strength and the untamed spirit of the American frontier. Unlike silver coins of the era, Buffalo nickels were made of a copper-nickel alloy, meaning they contain no silver, despite common misunderstandings that older coins automatically include precious metal. The 1927 D issue is particularly known among collectors because many examples were weakly struck, meaning details in the buffalo's horn and the Native American's hair often appear faint even on higher-grade pieces. Because these coins circulated heavily, most surviving examples today show strong wear, flattened details, and dark toning after nearly a century of handling. Finding a 1927 deep buffalo nickel with sharp horn detail and clear date is much more difficult than finding worn examples, and condition dramatically affects collector value. Many coins discovered in jars or inherited collections appear dirty, scratched, or worn nearly smooth, since nickels were used daily in commerce for decades. Collectors carefully inspect the date area because buffalo nickels are famous for their dates wearing off completely, making fully readable dates more desirable. Stories sometimes claim that any old buffalo nickel is worth thousands or even millions, but in reality value depends heavily on date, mint mark, rarity, and condition. Exceptional examples graded in very high condition by professional services can sell for impressive amounts at auction, especially when they show strong strike quality and minimal wear. The excitement surrounding this coin series comes from its artistic beauty combined with real scarcity in top grades, creating strong demand among advanced collectors. Many families unknowingly stored old nickels in drawers, coin tins, or jars, occasionally leading to rediscoveries of coins saved nearly a century ago. Cleaning such coins may seem tempting, but experts strongly warn against it because polishing or scrubbing can permanently damage surfaces and reduce collector value. The historical context adds even more depth, since these coins circulated during an era of economic highs followed by the Great Depression only a few years later. Each 1927 D nickel traveled through countless hands, perhaps used to buy meals, newspapers, or train tickets long before becoming a collectible artifact. Collectors today appreciate not only potential financial value, but also the historical artistry that captures a powerful image of early 20th century America. High-grade examples are scarce because nickels of that era were not widely saved in pristine condition the way later coins sometimes were. The combination of lower mintage and typical weak strikes makes strong, well-preserved examples especially appealing in today's market. While most circulated 1927 D nickels remain affordable collectibles, rare high-grade coins have achieved significant auction prices. The dream of finding a valuable buffalo nickel in everyday change keeps many collectors searching through old rolls and inherited coin boxes. Understanding the difference between common worn examples and scarce high-quality pieces helps collectors avoid unrealistic expectations. Even coins with heavy wear still hold historical charm and connect modern owners with nearly a century of American life. The bold design continues to be admired worldwide as one of the most iconic coin images ever created. In the end, the 1927 Deep Buffalo nickel proves that even a 5-cent coin can carry immense artistic and historical significance. And while it may not make someone a billionaire overnight, it certainly has the power to spark excitement, curiosity, and respect for America's rich coinage history. Next up, the 1936 Deep Buffalo nickel is one of those classic American coins that carries both artistic power and collector excitement. A 5-cent piece that traveled through the pockets of the Great Depression era and now sits proudly in collections around the world. This coin was struck by the United States Mint during a time when America was slowly recovering from economic hardship, and everyday coins were essential for even the smallest purchases. The D mint mark shows that this nickel was produced in Denver, a mint facility that often struck coins in different quantities than Philadelphia, sometimes creating added interest for collectors decades later. In 1936, the United States of America was still feeling the effects of the Great Depression, and nickels were heavily used in daily commerce for food, transportation, and small necessities. The design of the Buffalo nickel was created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, whose goal was to create a coin that truly reflected the spirit and history of America rather than copying European classical styles. On the front of the coin appears a powerful Native American profile, a composite image inspired by real tribal leaders, symbolizing dignity and the deep cultural roots of the continent. On the reverse stands the iconic American bison, often associated with the famous animal known as Black Diamond, representing strength, survival, and the untamed frontier. Despite common misunderstandings, Buffalo nickels contain no silver. They're made from a copper-nickel alloy, which gives them durability but not precious metal content. The 1936 D issue is known among collectors for generally stronger strikes compared to some earlier dates, meaning details such as the buffalo's horn can often be seen clearly on higher-grade examples. Because nickels circulated heavily in the 1930s, most surviving examples today show wear on the high points, especially the cheekbone of the Native American and the buffalo's shoulder. Coins found today in jars or inherited collections may appear dark, scratched, or dirty after nearly 90 years of handling and storage. Collectors carefully examine the date and mint mark area because Buffalo nickels are famous for having dates that wear away quickly, making fully visible dates more desirable. While stories online sometimes claim old nickels are worth millions, the reality is that value depends on condition, rarity, and verified mint characteristics. High-grade 1936 Deep Buffalo nickels that retain sharp detail and minimal work can bring strong prices at auction, especially when professionally graded. There are also interesting varieties within 1936 nickels, including certain double die examples, which increase collector interest when authenticated. Many families save coins casually without realizing they might hold collectible appeal decades later, leading to surprising discoveries in old drawers and boxes. Cleaning these coins may seem like a good idea, but experienced collectors warn that cleaning usually reduces value by damaging the original surface. The historical context makes the 1936 D even more meaningful, as it circulated during a period when America was rebuilding its economy and facing enormous social challenges. Each nickel may have purchased simple goods like bread, newspapers, or train fare, quietly participating in daily life during one of the nation's toughest decades. Collectors appreciate this coin not only for potential value, but for its artistic design, which remains one of the most admired in American coinage history. The Buffalo Nickel series ended only 2 years later in 1938, replaced by the Jefferson nickel, making late-date Buffalo issues part of the closing chapter of a beloved design. While most circulated 1936, D nickels remain affordable, exceptional examples with strong details and minimal where can command impressive premiums. The excitement of searching for rare coins continues to inspire collectors to examine inherited collections and old coin jars carefully. Understanding realistic values is important, since exaggerated claims of overnight billions often distract from the true joy of collecting. Even worn examples still hold historical significance and artistic beauty, reminding modern collectors of a different era in American life. Professional grading plays a major role in determining high-end value, as tiny differences in condition can significantly change price. The combination of historical depth, artistic excellence, and collector demand keeps the 1936 D Buffalo nickel relevant in today's market. Though it may not instantly turn someone into a billionaire, finding a well-preserved example can certainly be rewarding both financially and historically. Ultimately, the 1936 D Buffalo nickel proves that even a humble 5-cent coin can carry a powerful story of resilience, artistry, and American heritage, waiting to be rediscovered by those who look closely before spending their change. The 1929 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark is a coin that carries the weight of history. Struck at the edge of one of the most dramatic economic turning points in American history, just months before the stock market crash that would plunge the nation into the Great Depression. This 5-cent piece was produced by the United States Mint, and when there is no mint mark present on a Buffalo nickel of this era, it means the coin was struck in Philadelphia, the main minting facility of the country. At the time, the United States of America was experiencing the final surge of the Roaring '20s, a period of economic expansion, jazz culture, and industrial growth, unaware that financial disaster was just around the corner. The Buffalo nickel design was created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, who wanted the coin to reflect true American identity rather than European-inspired classical imagery. On the front of the coin is a strong Native American profile, a composite portrait inspired by real tribal leaders, representing resilience, heritage, and the deep roots of North American history. On the reverse stands the powerful American bison, often linked to the famous Buffalo Black Diamond, symbolizing strength, survival, and the spirit of the American frontier. Despite many misconceptions, Buffalo nickels do not contain silver. They're made of a copper-nickel alloy, giving them durability for circulation but no precious metal value. The 1929 Philadelphia issue had a relatively healthy mintage compared to some scarcer Denver or San Francisco dates, which means most examples found today are circulated and moderately worn. Because these coins were heavily used in daily transactions, many surviving pieces show flattened details on the Native American's cheek and the buffalo's shoulder and horn. The date area is especially important for Buffalo nickels, since the raised design caused dates to wear away quickly, and fully visible dates are always more desirable. Collectors carefully inspect coins for sharp detail, original surfaces, and minimal wear, as condition plays a major role in determining value. Coins found today often come from jars, old tins, or inherited collections, appearing dark, scratched, or dirty after nearly a century of use and storage. Cleaning such coins might seem like a way to improve their appearance, but experienced collectors warn that cleaning usually reduces value by damaging natural surfaces. While some stories exaggerate and claim that any old Buffalo nickel could be worth millions, the truth is that value depends on condition, rarity, and sometimes specific varieties. High-grade 1929 nickels that retain strong detail and minimal work can command respectable premiums, especially when professionally graded. The excitement of this coin lies not only in its value potential, but in its historical position at the edge of the Great Depression, making it a silent witness to a massive economic shift. Each 1929 nickel may have been used to buy everyday items such as bread, coffee, or newspapers during a time of both optimism and looming uncertainty. Collectors admire the Buffalo Nickel series for its bold, artistic style, which remains one of the most celebrated designs in American coinage history. Because Philadelphia produced large quantities, the 1929 no-mint mark coin is generally more common than certain other dates, but exceptional condition pieces are still sought after. Some collectors search for subtle varieties or strike differences that can add extra interest and potential premium to the coin. The heavy circulation of nickels during that era means truly sharp examples are harder to find than casual observers might assume. The Buffalo Nickel series ended in 1938, replaced by the Jefferson nickel, making all Buffalo issues part of a closed and historic chapter. Even worn examples still carry artistic beauty and historical depth, connecting modern collectors with nearly a century of American commerce. The thrill of searching through old coins continues because occasionally high-quality pieces surface from forgotten collections. Understanding realistic market values helps collectors avoid disappointment caused by exaggerated online claims. While a 1929 Buffalo nickel is unlikely to make someone a billionaire overnight, a rare high-grade example can certainly bring strong collector interest. The real treasure often lies in the story the coin tells, reflecting culture, design, and the dramatic changes of late 1920s America. Collectors value these coins not only for money, but for the powerful imagery that captures the spirit of a nation in transition. In the end, the 1929 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark stands as a piece of living history, proving that even a simple 5-cent coin can carry deep artistic significance and enduring collector appeal for generations to come. Next up, the 1936 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark is one of the most recognized coins of the classic American West design era, a 5-cent piece that circulated during one of the most challenging economic decades in modern history, and today continues to excite collectors around the world. This coin was struck by the United States Mint, and when a Buffalo nickel from 1936 carries no mint mark, it means it was produced at the main minting facility in Philadelphia, which handled a massive share of national coin production. At that time, the United States of America was still fighting through the Great Depression, and coins like this nickel were used daily to buy food, pay for transportation, and handle small but important transactions. The Buffalo nickel design was created by sculptor James Earl Fraser, who wanted to create a coin that truly represented American identity rather than copying European classical styles. On the front of the coin is a strong Native American profile, inspired by real tribal leaders, representing dignity, heritage, and deep cultural roots tied to the continent's history. On the reverse stands the powerful American bison, often associated with the famous animal black diamond, symbolizing strength, endurance, and the spirit of the frontier. Despite popular belief, Buffalo nickels are not silver coins. They are composed of a copper-nickel alloy, meaning their value comes from rarity and condition rather than precious metal content. The 1936 Philadelphia issue had a healthy mintage, so most examples found today are circulated and show visible wear from decades of handling. Because Buffalo nickels have raised dates and high design points, many surviving coins show flattened details on the cheek of the Native American and on the buffalo's shoulder and horn. Collectors pay close attention to the date because Buffalo nickels are famous for having dates that wear away completely, making fully readable examples more desirable. Coins discovered in jars, boxes, or inherited collections often appear dark, scratched, or dirty after nearly 90 years of storage and circulation. Some people assume dirty coins have no value, but experienced collectors understand that cleaning a coin can actually reduce its worth by damaging the original surface. High-grade 1936 no-mint mark nickels with strong strike quality and minimal work can command impressive premiums compared to heavily circulated examples. There are also well-known 1936 varieties, including certain double die coins, which can bring significant attention when authenticated by professionals. The year 1936 is especially interesting historically because it came during President Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal era, when economic recovery programs were reshaping American society. Each nickel from that year may have passed through countless hands during a time when 5 cents had meaningful purchasing power. The artistic beauty of the Buffalo nickel remains one of the most admired coin designs ever created in American history. Collectors appreciate the bold relief and uniquely American imagery that sets this coin apart from many other world coin designs of the early 20th century. While stories sometimes exaggerate values and suggest overnight fortunes, the real market depends on condition, rarity, and verified varieties. Professional grading services play an important role in establishing value, especially for coins that appear to be in exceptional condition. The excitement surrounding Buffalo nickels continues because truly sharp, well-preserved examples are harder to find than many people expect. Even worn coins still carry strong historical charm and serve as small artifacts of Depression-era America. Because Philadelphia produced large quantities in 1936, common circulated examples remain affordable for new collectors entering the hobby. However, coins with sharp detail, full horn visibility, and minimal surface marks can reach significantly higher price levels. The Buffalo nickel series ended just 2 years later in 1938, making 1936 part of the final chapter of this iconic design. Collectors often search through inherited collections, hoping to uncover forgotten high-grade pieces saved decades ago. Understanding realistic expectations is important, since not every old nickel is rare, but certain examples truly stand out in today's market. The thrill of discovery is what keeps collectors examining old change and coin jars carefully. Even a simple 5-cent coin can tell a powerful story about art, culture, and economic survival. The 1936 Buffalo nickel without a mint mark represents both resilience and artistry during a difficult era in American history. While it may not instantly make someone a billionaire, a rare or high-grade example can certainly bring serious collector interest and strong value. In the end, this nickel proves that small coins can carry enormous historical weight, and sometimes the greatest treasure lies not only in money, but in the story preserved within a metal itself.